Hey guys, Rajesh Durbal here, first triple amputee to do Hawaii Ironman World Championships 2010 and 2011, breaking my record, going down in history as the world's first triple amputee to do this race. Have my own day in Orlando. I've written books, I've coached tons and tons of people all across the world, professional athletes, teams, coaches, world-renowned doctors, executives, CEOs, everyone. And I always get a lot of questions about my life and what makes me so special and how do I overcome challenges, and I'm here to just share with you a tip. I just finished running. I did a big run workout, about an hour of just hills, lots of sprints up and down hills, and it was huge, and I wanted to just get this message out here because this is in the moment. I live this, I deal with this every single day, and I get a lot of questions about my prosthetics. So I'm going to share with you a tip about my prosthetics and how do I overcome the challenges with my prosthetics. So the first tip I want to really share with you is my prosthetics are elevated vacuum. I have elevated vacuum legs, and I'm going to show you them really quickly because these are super cool. These are my Ironman legs. And just a sidebar here, I have a huge network and team of people that really go out of their way to make these legs the best that they can possibly be. I have sponsors, and I've not always had all of this support, so I want to just be clear that when you go and get your prosthetics done and made and you figure out what works best for you, make sure it works best for you. What I use is not necessarily going to be what's going to be working best for you, but however, we're here to learn, and I'm here to share with you some tips of countless hours of training in all of the world's hardest race courses and areas, and I've trained everywhere in really very harsh environments. So I'm going to show you real quick. This is my legs. And here I have my elevated vacuum, which is from Ohio Willowwood. Ohio Willowwood is one of my sponsors. This is a vacuum pump, Nitro Freedom Innovations Run Feet that I run on, and I have a socket here, which is carbon fiber. And right here, what I use is this is a special sleeve. These are super special sleeves that are made one-off for me. This is a Cleartex material, latex blend that's really super thin. I don't use these a lot, but I'm using them right now because I like training in these to get the full range of motion, so I can really open up my gait. Range of motion in the knee is super important, so make sure you have a sleeve that gives you the proper range of motion. The other thing I use is this elevated vacuum. Like I mentioned before, this elevated vacuum sucks the air out, so the sleeve actually is rolled up on me, right? And then I hit the button on the bottom there, and then that vacuum sucks this air out, and then as you can see, it's totally sealed right here. There's no air in here. So when I'm running, my leg is totally sucked in and it's not moving anywhere. That is super critical in order to run and not have trauma to your leg. So if you're doing super long distances, or if you're just running leisurely, you definitely don't want to be jostling around in your leg. So I love the elevated vacuum because what happens is that when you have sweat happening in your leg, that wreaks havoc. And amputees, you know what I'm talking about. When you have sweat in your socket, you're moving around, you're chafing, you got blisters, and now your leg's falling off and you're done. You can't walk, you can't run, you have to literally stop and dump the sweat out and dry everything and continue. So the pump actually, under super heavy sweating loads, the pump actually sucks the sweat out of the leg and through the pump. If I'm sweating and if I've been running and cycling for hours and hours, and it's Florida hot where it's 95 degrees and 95% humidity, it is hot and there's a lot of sweating going on. So I love the elevated vacuum from Ohio Willowwood because if I lose suction when I'm putting down lots of power, or I'm surging on the bike, or if I'm running or sprinting, you can lose vacuum in your leg, and then you need a way to get that vacuum back or that leg to stay on you, and that's super important. And with this pump, it actually kicks back on and it tries to reestablish vacuum again for me automatically. So that's really important. So that's a tip that I wanted to share with you. All the amputees out there that are wanting to run or looking to run, make sure, number one, get a good prosthetist, somebody who's going to fit you properly. Number two, look at vacuum expulsion or elevated vacuum, which is very important if you want to do anything that's long distance, more than a 10K. I really highly recommend that you get it. It will increase your performance, and it'll also save the trauma to your body that you're sustaining when you're in the leg. Number three, get a sleeve that has good range of motion. This is very important. If you have a thick sleeve that doesn't move with you, then what you're going to end up happening is using more energy in order to bend your leg, and you're going to lose that in performance. So that's super important. And number 4, make sure you get a run foot. When I first started running, when no one would support me literally and sponsor me, I actually had to get made my own run foot and make my own legs. So look for a good run foot. Look at these guys, Nitro, Freedom Innovations. These guys are really cool. I can hook you up. Also, Oster is a good company, and you got a lot of other good companies out there. So take your pick, evaluate them. And number 5, look for a good prosthetist, a good fabricator. I seek out the best fabricators, the best prosthetists, the people who are in the forefront of creating and experimenting with new materials, new carbon fiber, new fabrication processes that I've tapped into aerospace and mechanical, and looking at different electrical industries to look at all the different materials that they have out there and see how they're using it and how I can apply that to my legs. And then I research the people that are the leaders in those space, so I can learn from them and I can discover what is it about them that makes them the best in their own space, and how can I use that in my prosthetics, because that translates to power, that translates to performance, that translates to overall quality of life. So do your research and really look into people and seek out the best teams. I have the best people that are on my team. I have numerous fabricators that I work with, numerous prosthetists that I work with to spin off ideas, to look at different ways to do things, and it's very important that you do that. So that's the prosthetic tip that I wanted to share with you today. I know its message is really long, but there's a lot, and there's a lot that goes into these legs. So I'm going to share with you another one hopefully in the next week, and we'll just keep the ball rolling and learning, right? So see you guys out there. Live free, live amazingly.